have our guests already here. If we can just show our guests who are already here, and allow me also to walk on this side so that we may engage on this discussion. Also, you get to drive a show with me. You can call in, ask questions, and share contributions from right now, wherever you are. If you're experiencing water problems, then the experts are here to tell us what is really happening today. Right. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Very well, thank you.
Hamjakunywa chai? Momentarily, we'll give you some tea, of course. Thank you for joining us. Right, as I mentioned there, we know there is a development with the northern tunnel, and we want to know what is now the state of this particular tunnel, so that also we know you've given us a promise by 2017, especially the residents of Murang'a, Nairobi, and Kiambu, they'll have, clean water running from their taps. Let's begin with you, Chairman.
Oh, very well, thank you, and thank you again for hosting us. Water, like we have all said, and everybody knows, is a fundamental human right.
Yes.
We must make it available for human beings and for other uses as well.
Yes.
The project that we are talking about, the Northern Corrector Tunnel,
yes,
is actually a Vision 2030 project, like you rightly say. And it is designed to provide water to not only other areas of, near Nairobi,
yes,
Murang'a, Kiambu. We're talking about the critical part, Nairobi. We know Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya, where we have all government functions and the people. It's actually a very large city. The amount of water that comes to Nairobi is by far less than what is required. So this is one of such efforts that is meant to bridge the gap. And it's we target to get about 144,000 cubic meters,
yes,
of water every day to Nairobi once this project is completed.
All right. Thank you. Let's hear from the CEO as well.
Thank you. And thank you for hosting us this morning. The need to develop additional sources for water in Nairobi City has come about because of the rapid rise in demand within the city and in the satellite areas of the city.
Yes.
And from 2010, Earth Water Services Board embarked on a program or on a study to define the least cost options that would meet the demand for water in Nairobi and the satellite towns. And this culminated in a master plan that was launched in 2012.
Master plan.
A master plan that defined 5 development phases to meet the demand for water in Nairobi City. Now, currently, we are implementing phase 2. Now, just for to know quickly the magnitude of this.
Yes.
The current production capacity for Nairobi City is about 550,000 cubic meters per day.
Yes.
That is the established capacity. And that capacity was established, say, between the year 1900 and the year 2000. Now, the master plan aims to increase this capacity to about 1.2 million cubic meters per day by 2030. It in effect means doubling what we established over 100 years in about 15 years. And that is the job we have at hand.
Yes.
So the phase 1, we already dealt with it. We are now dealing with phase 2. Now, the phase 2 has several components. There is a tunnel component. There is a water treatment plant, we just started. There is a pipeline. There's an upgrade of the system of distribution within the city of Nairobi. And then there are projects for host communities in Murang'a and Kiambu County. The tunnel started off in 2015 early. And we had a bit of challenges because at that point there were individuals who came against it, and we had to really go to court to clear up issues. So by the time we were cleared by the court, we had lost about 3 months But we are glad now that we are making progress. As a matter of fact, we have drilled about slightly more than 100 meters of tunnel in Makomboki, in Kanja, and we are making good progress. We are hoping to complete this tunnel by about 2018 June.
2018 June.
2018 June.
So 2018 June, don't you think then that is beyond your timelines because you had projected 2017?
Yeah, because of there was this
Court
stop
case,
order
that scuttled the whole process.
So it scuttled the whole process.
Okay, let's hear from also Engineer Joseph Kamau. In regard also to this planning with the tunnel, a big issue also will be the water treatment. And I know there's something that you're doing at Kigoro as well. So can you give us also the update? Where is it at right now? What sort of amounts of cubic meters of water will be treated in this particular facility, and what other treatment areas and plants are you also planning to put up within the city, right? Within this, particularly Nairobi County, Kiambu County, and which is the other one that I'm forgetting?
Muranga.
And Muranga, yes.
Okay, thank you, Diba. Yes, it's true that Adi Water Services Board is implementing the Kigolo water treatment plant.
Yes.
The plant is to be located at a place called Kigolo, which is about 6 kilometers to the east of the existing Thika Dam. And the plant will produce a total of 140,000 cubic meters per day.
Yes.
For transmission to Nairobi. Works have started. The contractor is on site, and we are hopeful that the project will be up and running by allowed February 2018. Once the water is purified, we would be able to transmit the whole amount to Nairobi for distribution through the pipelines. The contract for the pipeline will commence, the execution will commence very soon.
Yes.
And we hope also sometimes around June 2018, we would be having to have the entire system operational. In addition, we are also implementing other schemes, both in Kiambu, Muranga County, and some of them will include the expansion of the existing Gatanga system, where we are increasing production capacities by a total of 8,000 cubic meters per day through the construction of 2 water treatment plants. This is the one located at Kalangi and another one at Regeda area, each of capacities of 4,000. We are doing others to expand Kandala water system at a place called Kirishiongo and at Kahuti. So generally there will be improved access to water services to the communities in Muranga. In Kiambu, we are also expanding water services through construction of schemes such as Theta Water Treatment Plant and Karure Water Treatment Plant, all in Gatodo North. In Kiambu urban area, we are implementing a scheme that will generate about 8,000 cubic meters per day to improve water services in Kiambu City. For the areas near Ruiru, we are improving the capacity of the existing plant by developing a storage tank of about 5,000 cubic meters.
Fantastic. Right, thank you very much. Now, of course, we want to also make sure that what the projects we're doing, of course, they're on course to making sure that Athi Water is realizing the Vision 2030. But Vision 2030, we had the MDGs, and you also were also doggedly following what the Millennium Development Goals were supposed to actually have achieved by 2015. And we know now that has actually transformed to SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals as well. So looking back to 2015, and can you tell us then, as a board, have you been able to realize also what was encapsulated in Millennium Development Goals? One of which was that we should have a very good sanitation. But right now, in this country, almost 6 million people are still defecating, in an open area. So on that front, you've given us, yes, the plans for the water services. Let's talk about sanitation. Are we yet to realize this, Chairman?
We must, of course, admit that goals are set for people to realize them, and it is the best case scenario. However, the realities oftenly are different, and different because of so many reasons.
Yes.
In matters of sanitation and getting
Yes.
to serve the people of Nairobi as adequately as it should be, we must say that we have not really achieved what we would want. It's an open fact. But we are now getting to doing the efforts or rolling out efforts to ensure that that is done. We must also realize that as we seek to get to serve the people, the population is as well increasing. So
Yes.
the demand for the same increases as well. So there's really need for large-scale effort to ensure that this is done. We must say that the scenario all over the world is that we have achieved generally or globally about 50 or 60% in terms of being able to serve the communities in matters sanitation. And that is the global picture. But at a local level, at Adi Water, we of course strive to do, to actualize in the region of getting an A in this. It's a tall order, it's not easy, but of course we're trying.
Fantastic. And if you're joining us right now, I'm holding court with Adi Water Services Board, and we have the officials. We have the chairman with us, who is Wachira Kin. Also, we do have with us Malequin Milgo, who is the CEO of Adi Water Services Board, and Engineer Joseph Kamau, who is the head of planning and engineering. If you have any questions regarding your area, if you're facing challenges when it comes to potable water, or if you're facing challenges when it comes to sanitations, then they're here. You can call in, ask questions, or share your contributions as well. And also you can tweet us. AMLiveNTV is the Twitter handle. AMLiveNTV is a profile name on Facebook, and 20505 is our SMS portal. And the question we're asking you this morning, in tandem with Vision 2030, do you think also the government is aligning itself in terms of respecting, protecting, and fulfilling these rights? Because water and sanitation are your constitutional rights. So do you think the government also is working very hard to make sure that you're respected, you're protected, and these desires also are fulfilled? Right, let me come to you, Mr. Milgo. First of all, we know how key that the Northern Tunnel is very important for Adi Water Services Board, because of course you have the debt burden as well. How far has this gone to actually making sure that yes, you are laying also, or you're offsetting your debt burden? Because I know you work with partners. World Bank is one of them. You can tell us about World Bank. Is it a debt? Is it a grant? And how far also are other collaborators helping you to make sure that you realize Vision 2030?
Thank you, Ebari. This current program that we are implementing, we've actually christened it the fourth Nairobi water supply. So it has a production system, transportation system, and of course distribution system.
Yes.
We have various donors who are working with us to support us finance this project. And this is the World Bank, the AFD from France, and the KfW from Germany, and of course the government of Kenya. So what basically is happening is that the tunnel is fully financed by a loan from the World Bank.
Yes.
The treatment works in Kigoro is fully financed by a loan from the AFD of France. The AFD and the World Bank are co-financing the pipeline, which is about 62 kilometers in length, 1.2 meter diameter. And the upgrade of the distribution in the city of Nairobi is financed by a loan from KfW of Germany.
Yes.
These are loans that their repayment will fall due at various times after completion of the projects. But I must also maybe add here that Adi Water is repaying the loans that it has taken already to improve systems or establish new systems. On sanitation, maybe I just mention something on sanitation because you just asked about it to the chairman. In Nairobi City, the coverage has been quite low, basically almost less than 40%.
Has been quite low.
Yes. What we are doing at the moment is following on the 1998 Sanitation Master Plan, we are expanding the sewer system in Nairobi and expanding also the treatment system. For your information, the sewage in Nairobi is a large proportion is treated in Ruai, where we have expanded the treatment capacity from 80,000 cubic meters per day to 240,000. That's almost threefold increase, 3 times. We have embarked on laying trunk sewers based on the 1998 sewerage master plan for the city. All these have been supported to a large extent by the ADB and also the World Bank. And we are very confident that we'll achieve about 70% coverage in another maybe 1 year.
Yes.
And then we'll roll out additional programs to ensure that we move towards 100%. So works that were financed under the ADB program are basically almost 90% complete. Sanitation financed under the World Bank is basically complete in Nairobi. We did sewers in Kasarani and all that. In the meantime, given the rapid change in land use in Nairobi City, we are reviewing that master plan. Because if you recall, some areas like Upper Hill used to be residential areas.
Yes.
Now they're high-rise office blocks. You have to...
Which is a challenge.
It's a
right?
challenge.
Yes,
You
which
must
is a
enlarge
big
the
challenge.
sewers.
Of course, we have this mushrooming and
Yes.
of the high rises,
Exactly.
right, and the house glut that is in there. But yet now the infrastructure still remains the same.
Exactly.
So in terms also of the treatment of the water, let's talk about the safe, how safe this drinking water is in relation to now the rising sky, or not skyscrapers, but the high rises, and you know, a lot of development happening, especially within Nairobi. The water table, as it is right now, it is sewer, right? If you go and dig deep, because now we have bus sewers, and this now also is, you know, sort of compromising the safety and the portability of the potable water that we're drinking. First of all, is it safe? Because the infrastructure and the water table, which is now sort of mixed with the sewer, is affecting so many people. We've had of so many cases of typhoid and diarrhea. How safe is it? And what a challenge is it to you as a company? Let's hear from the engineer. Come on.
Thank you, Dadbal. I can confirm that the water supplied in Nairobi is quite safe for human consumption. Yes, it's true that we are having challenges on wastewater overflows, but efforts are being made to ensure that wastewater is collected and is not allowed to overflow to the streams. But generally, the water is treated to international standards. And
yes, your water is treated to international standards.
Yes.
But in light of what I'm saying, the infrastructure
Yes.
sort of compromises that particular safe water, which is within the pipes. But
Yes.
in areas where we have burst pipes, you know, they get to mix up with now what we have as a sewer, which has infiltrated most of it because of this high-rise building. So what providential intervention have we come up with to make sure that this is also addressed?
Presently, there is a program of sewering the entire city of Nairobi. As the CEO has said, with the support of the African Development Bank, there is extension of sewers to various areas that are not sewered, and which is almost towards the end of completion. Right now, we are preparing for what is called Nairobi Sewers Phase 2, which is extending sewers to areas of the west of Nairobi,
yes,
and also connecting to individual households. That program is on, and we are confident that African Development Bank will support the initiative to construct sewers that serve the people and the domestic households, such that wastewater is collected for treatment at the wastewater treatment plant. We hope in a few years' time, the issue will not be a menace in Nairobi.
All right, thank you. Another thing that maybe we can gravitate deeply to talk about also is the issue of, you talk of conflict and court cases that you have. And we know, especially the Dakaine Dam, which supplies a lot of water within Nairobi and its environs, has been also a battleground between Nairobi County and Murang'a County. right? Is that the case? Murang'a County has been bantling, which river? It's not Nakaine. Maybe you can actually enlighten me on this. Because they've been that row that the water that is flowing from Murang'a County to Nairobi, all the revenues should be going back to Murang'a County. And this has been also a battleground between Nairobi Water Services as well, which is under your remit, Nairobi Water Services. Could you enlighten us? How has this also scuttled the whole process of making sure that you realize Vision 2030 and giving Kenyans clean, potable water? Chairman, let's hear from Chairman.
Thank you very much. Well, I think water certainly is a resource that transcends boundaries. We may not really have water in some places. We will ordinarily have water coming from...
But you're privy to this particular case that we're talking about, yeah? The governor saying, the revenue should
That is basically what I'm coming to.
Yes, sure.
That we will have water coming actually from Nairobi, from other places, away from Nairobi. Probably we're looking at the water towers, for example. The water towers are outside Nairobi, Mount Kenya, Aberdares, and what have you. But if you really want to, the people of Murang'a, for example, or the people of Nyeri would say that this water belongs to us.
Yes.
It is true the people of Ukambani, where the water will naturally flow to, may not get water. So water is a sensitive issue which people must address in that regard, aware that this transcends the boundaries. What incidentally the people of Murang'a will be saying, and to some extent it's true, that previous plans that were made to abstract water from Murang'a and to deliver to Nairobi, there were, the case for Murang'a was really not very well catered for, so that the people were left complaining that water is being, drawn from our place,
yes,
and of course ending up in Nairobi, where we have very little of the same.
Yes.
But of course, what we have now, or the project that we have, the Northern Collector, comes in to address those challenges. Dakaine, when it was constructed, was done without, the original Dakaine, was done without a provision or clear provisions for supply to the people of Murang'a.
Yes.
But on this particular one, very serious considerations have been made for the people of Murang'a first to get water, even before the people of Nairobi get the same. So those are the things that come about. The people of Murang'a had genuine concerns that this is, they've given too much and probably received not as much. But moving forward, that is what is being addressed. Indeed, just the other day we got to agree on a project in the lower part of Idhanga, that is part of Murang'a, largely very dry areas which has never been served with water. And you can be sure in the next 1 or 2 years, they will have plenty of water, the lower sides of Murang'a.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Well, just to also read some of your comments that we can see coming through on our social media platform. We have Daniel Mugeni saying population increase is a lame excuse for lack of good service. This is where planning is coming, right? There we have it. Let me just try and also flip it so that you can see it clearly. Yeah, we have Daniel Mugeni saying that population increase is a lame excuse of lack of good service. This is where planning comes in. And we also have him saying that water and sanitation rights have greatly been abused by Jim. Well, I can't figure out what he's saying there. I get water once a week and sanitation is neglected. I think abused by the government. That should be maybe the point is trying to actually, pass across. Yeah. But people are getting water once per week from their taps. We have a lot of rain that, of course, we know our dams are full, as reported by the media, which is diametrically different of what we expect. If the dams, they're busting and overflowing, why then should we be having dry taps without water? The question will be, is there a problem with the water harvesting that we have in this country? Right? And of course, we are talking of 8 boards that is under the Ministry of Environment, which you're one of them as well.
Ministry of Water.
The Ministry of Water, right? And right now we have also a large expanse of discovered water aquifer in Turkana as well. Is it within your remit? And is it also, can you let's address this issue of water, which is not on our taps every day, but coming once per week? Let's hear from the CEO before we come to Chairman.
Thank you for that. and thank you for those comments by viewers out there. Let me say this. When you are planning to develop a water scheme,
Yes.
you must have a long-term view, and that is what we have defined
Yes.
through the water master plan for Nairobi City and satellite towns. Now, the demand for water, okay, arises because of population, because of businesses, and also other water users. Now, at the moment, the demand for water in the city is in the order of 700,000 cubic per day. The production is about 550,000. There is what is called non-revenue water, which for now in Nairobi is over 30%. The end result of this is that you get about maybe 400,000 cubic meters of water to supply to a demand of 700,000.
Yes.
So it's not too difficult to see why some areas may not be having sufficient water. Now, through the master plan, which is really a forward-looking document, we have defined a very comprehensive development blueprint to meet the water demand for the city. And as I said, this plan calls upon us to establish a capacity of about 600,000 within 20 years, okay, where we did 550,000 in 100 years.
All right.
Now, just a minute.
When I say you're going to 20 years, I'm not even sure I'll be here myself. Right?
Don't worry.
But let's talk about the immediacy right now, because we want to know. Okay, just finish your point.
So what is happening now is that with the Northern Collector Tunnel, we are bringing in 140,000 cubic meters per day to Nairobi City. It increases the capacity from 550 to about 700,000. So it meets the demand. In the meantime, also what is happening? We are planning to establish some 2 additional dams.
But
there's a Karimeno Dam.
And give us the time frame, at least, so that our viewers can also know, at least by this time frame.
It takes time. Within 3 years, it should be all up and running. Now, those 2 dams will give us in total about another additional 140,000 per day, okay?
Fantastic.
Also, there is Northern Collector Phase 2. There is an additional dam called Maragua. There's another one called Ndarugu, where we are actually packaging the projects to seek financing. And what I'm saying is that we are very confident that in the next 10 years, we'll have met the required demand, not just for now, but even for a foreseeable future.
Okay. I wanted just to also follow up on the development that you have, especially in Embakasi area and Karen area, because you had promised that in the next 2 years, this actually was from 2014, and this should actually now be winding up, or it should be completed by now, 2016. In the next 2 years, with the construction of 2 mega pipes at the cost of 4 billion shillings, the people of Embakasi and Karen will be having sufficient water. Is that the case, engineer?
Yes, Dibal.
So is that completed?
It's not completed.
It is not completed.
Of course.
So you're lagging behind time.
We are lagging behind time, but the programs are on. The contractor has been selected, especially for the pipeline towards Embakasi.
Yes.
And we hope maybe towards the end of 2017, the pipe will be up and running, delivering water from the Kiambu region to the Embakasi region around the airport.
All right.
So, and also the Kabete one is also on course. We hope also they will be running concurrently. So we expect by around 2017 December, the 2 schemes should be up and running.
Fantastic. All right, then, as we're winding up, but Chair had something to say, but could you also kindly allow me to ask you, also, don't lose your track of thought, because we have your financiers have recently expressed also their discomfort after it emerged that some water companies have fallen behind in their remittance to the board. And this also maybe is triggering, default in payment as well. Is it the case that we have also water companies not really, submitting the remittances to you? in
Yeah,
good time?
thank you very much, Debal. I will say that yes, we have some issues with water companies, probably not living up to the billing, where we find them probably struggling to make good their payments.
Yes.
And of course, we're going to get the specifics of that from the CEO who is with us here. But there's the question of water harvesting that you raised, and I'm sure it's what what is on top of everybody's mind, the viewers, that we, as a nation, are we doing enough in terms of conserving the water? We get so much when it rains. Just the other day we had storms, and we had chaos, containing storm water and all over. And that brings us to look at collective, support or working together. If we were to agree, even at county governments, and decide that we're going to harvest water and make legislation at the counties so that any new building that comes up, people are advised to harvest the rooftop water. I think it will go a long way in helping the situation, where we will we will get to use that water, which is actually very good water, and at the same time avoid the spillage that goes to destroy our systems. So it's probably not government policy as at now at the county levels, but it is something that counties should think about all over the country, so that any new buildings that are coming up, people are persuaded to get to harvest that water at that station. Because if we do that, we will be able to, that water will be used even to cut costs on doing many other things.
Right.
I'm sure you have realized there's the fantastic government program that is coming up. The minister talked about it the other day, and the president has as well talked about it. Water for schools. This is again going to help so much, because if we start at harvesting the rooftop water at the schools, and schools have big establishments where we have that kind of infrastructure, I think we'll be going a long way to help achieve what we want. Even at the household level, we would want to encourage people at Mashinani, when you have your house and put a small tank, it will also come in to help the family get sustainable levels of water. As much as we seek to supply more.
All right, maybe just to get to your closing comment, Bwana CEO, first of all, we had a big breakthrough with the water bill that now has been enacted. It's a law. So what does it portend for you also as a board, and other boards and other particular parastatals that actually fall within your remit? Just briefly as you're winding up.
Thank you. The new water law will basically, in my view, clarify issues and the responsibilities for the water works development agencies, the county governments, and all sector players, so that there is reduced or avoidance of conflict altogether. Before I wind up, please allow me to confirm that we are meeting our obligations to the National Treasury in terms of loan repayments.
Yes.
And also to tell the viewers that with regard to the Northern Collector Tunnel, the World Bank and other support agencies, including the Regulatory Board, has supported the establishment of an independent panel of experts that would be able to provide expert opinion on this project.
Thank you.
Because people have raised doubts in some cases, and it was thought that it's better to have an independent body of experts that will address these issues.
Thank you.
This body has been established. You can check on it in our website. They have an email address. In case you have any issue about the Northern Collector project, please address your concerns to this panel that will really be able to look at the issue and advise accordingly.
Thank you.